Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league. Quarter is standing by to call the action. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A minute or so ago, it was the veteran leader of the Seattle secondary, Cam Chancellor, firing up the Seahawk crowd that's in its usual full roar as he and his mates get set to go head-to-head with the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, Taylor firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. And he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jermaine Kearse, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
And down he'll go at the 25. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
Play action. It's Wilson rolling to his left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat. And
they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Being chased out left. Baldwin with it over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. A cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Taylor, it's caught. Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, hold it.
Still second
Each
down.
and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down, Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Play action. Now Wilson steps away. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded at the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And the Jets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's Taylor to throw on 3rd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Taylor to throw. his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
A dump off to Anderson. So he got free at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. First by him near the 35. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down. Unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is taken at the 15. Oh, what a move. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On the carry, here's Clement. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now Wilson on 1st down. It's caught at the 10. That one goes for 36 yards. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw is Wilson, buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson out to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Trey Madden, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Airing one deep for Curse. And this is caught at the 20. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Taylor on 1st down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Slow. Ready. 319.
Again, it's Taylor. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Curse, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the kick by Butker is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal here at the end of the 2nd quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
This one fielded at the 5. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And as they come towards halftime, it's the Eagles who have the lead in that one. Nelson Aguilar, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head east to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And that one's gone to halftime with the visiting Jags out in front. Marquise Lee, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Ryan Tannehill, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game, it's Tyrod Taylor who's been on the offensive in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cassius Marsh in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Wilson on second down. Dancing to his left. And it's hauled in by Nick Burnett. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they'll run it here. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. He's at the 50. And he makes takes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Herndon's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt, the will as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. T.J. Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cassius Marsh in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, Wilson steps away to his left. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Muscles by at the 25. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 58 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson on the move to his left. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A run, it's Clement. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, Taylor's throw incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. He's got Curse. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Taylor now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Clement. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Taylor to throw. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They'll run again with Clement. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Clement. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Taylor going to throw it. He'll buy some time right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Jets on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's the Jets punter now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
He's back to throw. Rolling to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Jets, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.